everybody. Welcome to another night of the Late Night Gooey Adventure with myself. I'm running our crazy audio tonight, or our video tonight, so if it's a little crazy, please give me a little bit of a break. So I try to resize everything in here. But we've had some difficulties this week. Some people were out on work, others are having issues with internet, and we were just all sorts of off the wall tonight. However, it should still be a fun night. Start off, Pam, do we have any sort of announcements tonight?
See, we do. March 25th through 28th, Gooey Cube will be part of the fabulous Gary Con. So stay tuned for more details coming on that, but definitely mark it on your calendars. We will be running many games that weekend.
All right. Like you heard it, we're going to be there at GaryCon, and we'll be running a whole bunch of these Zyothe adventures through Gooey Cube. Myself and I think a couple others that are in here, this chat, or that are playing with me, will be running those games. As always, we want to thank our community for coming and hanging out with us every night. When we do this, we also want to thank our extra community members such as the Catnip and the Loophole King for their generous help with getting our layouts and our images. This wonderful map is based off from Catnip, as well as our original layout was from Loophole King. And we're still working with them for more stuff. So, yeah. We also have a whole bunch of featured people up on our Twitch channel, so please go check them all out. And they're all a bunch of great people, and they help support our stream, and we just want to continue to grow the community. So, is there anything else? Yes, no, maybe?
I don't have anything.
Awesome.
I know.
We're just waiting for the Book of Karas.
All right. So,
Sure.
No more announcements. Let's get into our late night Gooey adventure. So, last time we stopped in the town of Tothenshire, a small town known for its horses and specifically the derby races that go through the town once a month. This is also just a stopping point on the road, on the King's Road, which is just one of the many different towns that the Hanatas will play at and do their shows to make some extra coin before heading off to an unknown location for rest and respite. As you guys arrived, normally you get a great show, a great crowd. The community comes out and at first seems to be supporting and excited, but as the sun goes out and the show closes down, the true nature of others not like yourselves seem to kind of come out of the woodwork. A group of thugs and a zealot priest decided to come out, deciding to stir up some trouble. In doing so, you took your efforts, your magic, and your innate abilities and made waste of most of them, though some seem to have gotten away. Next day, later that time, you headed into town. You found some horses you were looking for, but the farmer was having some problems. Before deciding on purchasing, because the cost was just a little too high, you decided to come back the next day. On the second day of Carnival, you all performed normally and with great aptitude, but this time as the evening went on, the big show was about to go on, and that is where Karis told a wonderful tale. It Vezi told the tale of the Garoond, her tale of the Garoond, and we got to see the wonderful dancing of both Kenna and Essifer. As the crowd was amazed and enthralled by everything that was going on, you took the time that evening to go back to the farmer and check and find out what was actually stirring within the farm. Upon some slight investigation, you found that this was two cave bears, maybe a mate, maybe friends. Either way, they had been rustling through the farm crop and taking out some local cattle that made it a nuisance for the farmer. He offered you some coin, and in doing so, you disposed of one due to some strange issues with your connection with the Xanthus, as well as Dell, our agent of chaos, Jinx, had decided to rodeo the second one to exhaustion before it had finally given in and was able to be calmed. Bringing both back, your evening much more eventful than you had expected, giving the gift to Vanessa, your local beast tamer. You were able to take some time and relax and regain some energy for the following day. Getting finally some confirmation from Quimber, the Hanataz troop leader, to go do some additional investigating this evening. So, it is morning. Everything is exciting. You all stir in your everyday carts. What would you all like to do?
Some breakfast.
Sounds like a great idea. I'm gonna make sure I have a half barrel of holy water prepared.
Like half a barrel this time.
Yeah, gotta be trekking with it, you know. Can't carry a full weight.
We have Decimus to carry it now. He's awake.
That's true.
How you feeling there, Decimus? How's the
I'm
head?
great. My head's just fine. I just don't remember anything from last night.
That's because you were asleep through all of it. You missed all the fun. Dell was riding a bear. I'm not sure why.
Well, I wouldn't say he missed all the fun. He seemed to be the center of the fun at the camp.
Okay, so
Drinking as much as you
after
did.
we left.
Like, oh boy. These townsfolk really took to you.
Oh, did they? What happened?
Yeah.
Oh, well, man, it a little wild, if you know what I mean. Think you started with some guy challenging you to a drinking contest, and when you beat him just so easily, the rest of the crowd, some of the bigger guys, they tried to jump in on it, but you just kept chugging them down, and they kept falling out, and then before I knew it, had left our tent, and you started trying to do backflips out on the street, and people were just throwing money at you. It was wild. And they
like
just,
me.
they kept channeling you some booze there, so you keep doing crazy stuff, and it was something else. Tell you that.
I could remember that.
Well, that makes one of us.
Sounds like my kind of party.
Oh, it definitely was. They definitely were chanting your name. This town will remember you.
Very good. Very good. We'll be back.
Hopefully they'll have
I'm sure they're
restocked
looking
their
forward to it.
stores of ale.
As you start to stir and pop out of your carts and head over to the local area where all of you are fed in the mornings, you can see the troop gathering, and each of them pretty much divvying out the food in a very, very close family sort of way, where it's all just kind of laid out on this picnic this table, and people are just grabbing and reaching in, and one by one, without any sort of really mechanic to it, and just chaos ensues as they all just grab food and just start placing it on their plates and head off to other small benches and tables to eat.
Hey Essie, did
Huh?
we ever figure out where that cave was that the bears had come from, or are we just gonna kind of wing it and hope we found it?
Maybe we can get one of our compatriots that have a little bit of tracking ability to go with us, because I don't know about you, but I can't track worth diddly, and unfortunately, Dell has had to take some time away.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I see footprints in the mud, and that's about all I can do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they're fairly obvious tracks, it's one thing. But
Yeah.
I think I've seen some trackers once or twice before.
Oh yeah. So you can you lead us?
I can definitely try.
this could be
No.
entertaining, that's for sure.
I like the spirit of that. I say we do it. There's nothing wrong with this at all.
You know what, though? Let's make sure we have.
How hard could it be?
full
It's just looking at the
backs and
ground.
you've got your book with you, right, Karis?
Book.
The book,
Oh.
good, excellent.
A whole water.
You've got your holy runner. Decimus, you have
Yeah.
your stone maul, yes.
Yeah, I've got that.
Okay. I
I've got my
think
loincloth. I've got my wraps.
we're very glad you have your clothes on, yes.
That's not even clothes. It's just cloth.
Okay, you were clothed, so it's all good here. I've got my things. I've got my weapons. Sure, let's go off and see what we can see. Perhaps we can see if Brendel can give us some kind of summoning spell or something should we need assist from the troop.
So you walk over
Sounds
to
good to
Randiel,
me.
and she kind of, in her hearty look to herself, as she rolls down these long locks of hair. So, you all had a wonderful evening. So are you heading out early, or are we waiting until nightfall for you all to head out?
Made it easier to see tracks during the daytime.
That is very perceptive. About that moment, you start to hear footsteps, like a dozen of them, and they're heading up the road, and they're heavy, clanging metal footsteps.
You think we should go check that out?
The tramping of a troop kind of heavy metal footsteps?
Yes, exactly like the tramping of a troop. Something that some of you have heard before, and not as easily excited about such things because you know usually what this means.
Do I know what this means?
Bad sound. Know this sound. It's a bad sound.
I mean,
And you
usually
can
when I hear
see-
clanking metal, it's not good.
See Quimber, who's like head deep in a bowl of what looks like porridge of some sort, just kind of look up and look over, and you've got about 12 guards and this stumpy looking dwarven man with a purple and red coat with these golden buttons that go down his the center of his chest, and you can see that the bottom button is almost screaming as he kind of waddles up in front of you all, and he says, you there, what is the meaning of this?
To me?
He looks at Quimber, and he says, one of your troop has been said to have been seen at the derbies. And now, one of our most prized jockeys is dead. Are you the one that speaks for the troop?
I'm going to point to the guy in charge.
You see this just look of just distraught kind of pour over Quimber as he crosses his arms. I'm sure this is nothing more than a solemn misunderstanding. But I will rally the troop and we will find out what is up. And from there, I will have one or two of my people come give word, and if we need to, we will do what we must to clear our name. And you all
Yes,
can do
he's
this.
gonna-
Neither one of them
Yeah.
are being quiet about this.
Yeah, well, I'm encouraging the guys to step back and not volunteer us. We have research to do over there.
Does this dwarven guard man that's looking really angry, does he look like he might have a hangover or something? He might have like a pounding headache, maybe wearing a pair of shades or something?
No.
Okay. Hey, maybe he's
So
just
you were
mad he
not-
got wrecked in some drinking games. I don't know.
Always possible.
Especially with Decimus around.
I mean, you said I got wasted last night and drunk a bunch of people under the table, so.
Oh yeah.
We would have noticed if any of them had been this dwarf.
Essie, like, don't you think that maybe this missing jockey is related to our bears? If this is like a lead.
Maybe if he got killed by a bear. But
mean-
jockeys don't normally try to ride bears like Dell did.
Well,
Sure. I mean,
did they find a
this could
body,
be a
or are they
case-
just missing?
Then again, it could just be like Sundama again. Remember that guy?
yeah. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. His busty shirt is really bothering me. I think that, maybe if the bears were causing trouble for the stable hand, maybe another woodland creature got down over to the jockey stuff. Maybe it's all related. The woodland guys coming out.
I mean, I'd be upset too if
I
someone
wonder if any of the.
kicked me out of my home.
But it was just a jockey that was killed. If it was the other creatures coming out, wouldn't they have gone after the horses?
Maybe he was trying to defend the horse.
I'm
No.
sure we can check it out, but
And
Where
I
the
think a
derby
horse is
is in
faster than a
relation-
jockey.
That's a very good observation.
yes. I wonder where this derby is in relation to that farm we were at. Hey, and we could probably take draft horse with us. And ride out there instead of walk. because that means if we need to beat it, quick retreat, it'll be faster.
Well, do we have a cart?
Oh, I know. We need a cart. We're just gonna.
We got a cart, but
I mean, if
There's
we
one
only got
horse.
two, if we only got
We
two
have four.
horses,
4. I know you weren't there. You were sleeping it off.
okay.
We have 4.
okay.
Two to stay?
Four makes more sense. I thought we only had money for 2.
We made a little bit of money last night.
a little bit.
I spent a lot of money last night, I'm sure.
Other people spend more, so I think we're good. I think you're good.
You start to see a point where the man kind of talks to this taller gentleman with what looks like a short sword on his right side, and he's got mostly chainmail armor, and you can see the dawning of the symbol of Darkenhaven. And he says, we can't allow additional patronage for the time being until this is resolved. So I'm placing my guard here. I hope you all understand. I know your lives are for this reason, but our luck is that you have somebody among you that does not follow a code of these towns. And he looks kind of narrow-eyed, specifically at Decimus and Karis, who are giving off a very large demeanor to themselves, as one being half-orc and one being a Garund.
Does any
I
of
don't
them
fear any threat at all.
do any of them give some kind of look towards me like I look familiar to them?
No. They're
Okay,
giving you
good.
a look of disgust that you're there, in general.
Okay, just making sure they're not noticing that I am me.
Yeah. So you have two. So they're placing 2 guards at either side of the road of
Hey.
the carnival. So the carnival will not be open today.
The rich guy that you guys stole me from might be upset.
I wasn't there. So Quimber, we know Dell's, talking to his family. Do you want us to go check things out?
It seems that your plans are going to have to change.
The
Yep.
guys think it might be related. Who knows? Maybe it is. Stranger things have happened.
True. Vezi's not going to be happy about this, and neither is the rest of the troop.
I
And you
mean,
can kind of
is it-
see that the guards are kind of being placed in areas where it's almost interrupting to some of the troop, and even peeking into stalls and carts and verifying and looking through to the point where the
They're
one
invading
kind of starts
privacy?
to wander over to Kenna's cart.
I mean, this wouldn't be the first time that someone's blamed murder on one of us, right?
Sadly, it seems to be more often than normal.
For the one that's approaching where Kenna is, I'm gonna wander over and I'm sorry, can I help you with something? This is my home.
Just normal investigation, ma'am. We're just trying to find out if maybe there's somebody hiding.
There's only us ladies in there, if you don't mind. And a child who's had some scares recently, so please be careful. Let me go in and warn them first.
Of course.
Be naked.
You can kind of
I
see
was
at
not
first
saying
as
that.
you were just stating that Oh, everything was. It's just your cart, and he kind of at first was getting ready to open the door, and as you're like, no, no, there's ladies there. He backed down, and you can see that he has some respect. He's just doing a job.
Gonna climb up and open the door, and everybody decent in here. You know, there's been some trouble in town, and they're checking everything out. Make sure everybody talk to Ganella that everything's gonna be fine, and you can come sit with me.
Essifer, these wouldn't, however, be somebody that we could have issues with these two, is it?
They're from Darkenhaven. I don't think so.
Okay. Just a weird feeling.
They're led by a dwarf, crown dwarf, I believe.
Probably just a steward of the town, or...
Did say there is some trouble in town. Apparently, one of their dirty jobbies was killed. And of course, suspicion falls where it always does.
Yes. More so lightly than normal, but hopefully we can resolve this quickly. We still need to get a ways away from Grandorf,
right,
so that we can be more... Yeah.
Understand. Decimus and Karis and I were gonna go check things out. But I wanted to make sure that everything was okay here first, because they are inspecting all of our abodes.
Well, do be careful. Those two can get into a lot of unnecessary trouble.
I'm well aware of that.
Of course you
What you talking about, Liz?
Well,
I am well aware of that.
I do hope we figure this out soon. Though enjoy the town, if you can. At least a little. It's not often we're allowed in town. So maybe this is a unpleasant surprise. And she kind of gives this half-crooked grin. Well,
I was like,
if this man must come in, everybody is decent. We're okay.
Open the door so he can see him.
The man just kind of looks in and he's...
Thank you for your kindness, sir.
Of course. Of course. Everything looks clear here. Thank you, ladies. And he shuts the door.
Into town, I think maybe I gotta try to convince Decimus to wear a cloak or something. He's gonna attract more attention than we need.
Both of them are... might want to put on something or clean up something.
Two dwarves in a trench coat.
Bring them by. We'll paint them up a little bit and make them look a little less intimidating.
Paint me up like a dwarf.
Very tall one.
Very tall.
Alright.
And you can see she starts as she kind of waves you to go get them. You can see that she's starting to pull out these small shelves of just nothing but different colors of makeup and other types of facial paint.
So I'm gonna go find Karis and Decimus and say, since we're going into town, we're gonna see if we can't make you two a little less obvious. Syrians don't stand out quite as much as orcs Garoons.
Can you make me shorter?
Oh.
No,
Well, I suppose we could cut you off at the knees, but that's probably going to be more trouble than it's worth.
probably.
Then I don't think there's a way to make me not stand out.
I said
Well-
stand out less.
We're not going to completely make you vanish, but we are going to clean your complexion up a little bit so that you look more like a tall human rather than what you are. And you, we need to clean up the green. They're not going to.
All
like us.
right.
I'm afraid we're going to have you wear a little bit more than your loincloth.
Yes.
How much more?
Because,
She
well, it's
literally just
either
pulls
cloth
out
or
this.
it's makeup.
She pulls out these two like long racks that kind of come out of the side of the cart and pull out, and it's just clothes. And well, in this case, thankfully, this is your choice.
Dirty parachute pants.
Where the idea is to blend
Hamper
in,
time.
not stand out.
I mean, I don't know what stands out less than parachute pants.
I'll go to one of the larger dresses. Hey, I'll wear this. It should still give you that, breeze between the legs.
Well, it's a robe. Lots of clerics wear robe-like things.
I don't think I look like a cleric.
Maybe we have a blank book you can borrow or something.
I do have an
We'll
extra
put a
blank
symbol
book.
We'll put a symbol of your god on a chain and hang it on you, and you'll be fine.
Do we have big sticks?
We're in the middle of a forest.
I mean, I'm not seeing what's wrong with your stone maw.
That's fine.
I mean, I don't think that looks much like a staff.
Not
mean,
all
you can
clerics
say-
carry staves.
I mean, a stick and a book seems pretty normal to me.
Absolutely. The wise man once said, "Speak softly, but carry a big stick." The stone.
It sounds wise. But let me see what I can help with.
I mean, I do have pointy ears, so maybe I can just look like an elf.
Very buff elf.
Very big elf.
I mean, aren't elves normally kind of tall anyway?
Yeah, but they're usually kind of thin, and you're not.
Very true.
Maybe I just had an extra bowl of Wheaties.
Like you were two elves in one.
Yeah.
I ate my brother in the womb. I think that's how that works.
Well, let's see what we can find. And she starts pulling out. She pulls out like this very like normal commoner's white shirt, and she kind of like places it up against you, and it's like as if you were tried to put it on with it barely would fit. And then she brings it over to Karis and she sizes you up, and it's a little more your fit.
Sure.
She says, well, this and a pair of pants and
Maybe we just need what did they call that cloak? The Holocaust cloak or apocalypse cloak or
I mean, would they
What?
just have clothes
One of
in
those.
town?
one of those.
I mean
We could
they,
just buy some clothes in town.
they probably would.
My size.
Let's
Oh.
that's probably not a bad idea. Here,
Arkenhaven.
let me give
Isn't
you
Gloomport beneath it? Wouldn't maybe we could find something in Gloomport?
we could we could probably also find something here, at least for maybe to let them blend in from now on. It's a little bit easier. But step over here, please. And she starts kind of covering up some of the blue and putting the complexion on so that you look a little more tan than blue. And she asks you to, if you don't mind, can you take care of Karis?
Karis,
So,
we're gonna like
All right.
red screen.
Wouldn't you need to be a more?
roll me a performance check with
Oh no!
advantage.
Oh yeah.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Wouldn't you want to make me a little more pale?
And then she's going to do the same thing. She's going to run a performance check with. Maybe. Oh, no, she's not.
Tempting to.
She's not done her character sheet's done differently on here.
Ooh,
Oh,
hit
yeah.
with it.
25? Yeah, no problem. Kind of take the you find more of a complexion of his elven half, little spots that kind of sit around his face of different colored, and you blend it all together to this very strong featured faced elven man. And kind of looks back and kind of looks at you, and you look more like a dwarf. And you've got a little bit more of a heavier complexion to yourself, but you don't look like a Garoond, and you don't have blue skin anymore. And she grabs this, literally what looks like a tablecloth, it's just a brown tablecloth, and just kind of droops it over your head. She says, "Well, I hate to say this, but until you can find clothes that fit you, this is about as good as we can do."
I just look like a nun.
Hey, at least you're not wearing a wimple.
I don't know what that is, but I'm wearing a tablecloth.
The little hat thing.
So we have we've gotten you decently concealed. Now you all have to make sure that you use your manners and that you don't get any more trouble. So try to stay out of line of sight to most people unless you have to. And do be safe. I really don't feel like having to sneak into another place to get you guys out.
You know who you're talking to here, right? I will try.
Thank you.
I am
But
very
sometimes
inconspicuous.
these two have a mind of their own.
Oh,
All the time, actually.
I mean, I am an individual person.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
Sometimes my persuasion just does not work with them.
I can be pretty persuasive.
We will try our best, right?
We will.
I've got some percussive persuasion.
She kind of nods to you and she. All right. Well, you all figure out what this is all about and hurry back soon. And she kind of pushes you out as she gets Ganel and Malia ready.
So what exactly was my outfit aside from just a tablecloth over my head?
You saw you got, man. You
Makeup.
got a tablecloth and a loincloth.
Yeah.
It should be nice and breezy, though.
Yeah.
I just look like a
at
real
least
slutty
You know-
nun. That's all.
Well, let's just tie some rope around your waist, like a length of rope, and you'll look more like a monk than a nun, in theory.
What if we just like cut a hole in the middle of the tablecloth and just drip it over top?
Like a giant poncho.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
He watches Essifer just.
Here.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any
off
hoods?
we go.
No hoods.
you take a second to just like gather in what you need to do, and about the time you do so, Quimber starts to walk over to you, and he says, "Well, sounds like you'll have to head back into town, anyways. So, as of right now, you're off. Make us proud. Keep out of trouble. And I'm sure we'll see you soon. I will go deal with this man while you're gone."
I can help if you want me to.
No, I'm alright.
Optimus, come on. We have to go figure out what's going on. Let's go.
That's right. I need to go track the bear.
And figure out what killed the jockey.
And track the bear.
Yes. And
Yeah.
track the bear. Well, where the bear came from, because our bear is actually here now with Brenda.
Well, you said someone talked to the bear. I could probably talk to them.
It's over here in the beast cage.
So you walk over
Need
to
to talk to him.
Vanessa's cart, and her cart is very simple made. Though it seems that she has taken time to decorate it with floral vines and fauna, and almost the top part of it, the top sections of the wall seem to be growing this thick greenish blue moss that kind of grows around the edges of it. And then behind, of course, there's connected to it a massive iron barred cage, and there sits the brown and black,
The rodeo bear.
yep, rodeo bear.
The rodeo bear.
Seemed like a friendly bear.
I don't know. What are you planning? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Right
I was
now, the
gonna-
bear is just literally laying down in the cart.
I don't know. I was gonna try and go over to the bear and talk to it.
You're welcome to.
Okay, I'll get down on my hands and knees and just crawl over to it. I think I look about the
I'm gonna
size
get
of a
over-
bear, right?
So as your massive groomed body crawls over to it, and it's in this drab brown tablecloth, you kind of walk over. Okay.
I'll walk over to it and I'll reach my hand out towards it just to let it get a sniff. Hey there, buddy. I'm not gonna hurt you, all right?
Give me an animal handling check.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
He's doing that. I'm gonna go. Karis, you may want to have one of your healing spells at the ready.
Yeah.
Already ahead of you.
This is gonna go perfect. Don't worry. I'll take that 20.
You see the bear just kind of sniffs your hand and just kind of stares at you.
All right. Now that you know I'm friendly, I'm on your side. I need to ask you a question, but we're trying to find where you came from and what kicked you out. Where's home?
Do you have anything that's actually able to speak to animals, or are you just speaking to the animals?
Nope.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I am not a druid in this campaign.
I could have just asked Vanessa, but that would have been far too simple.
You kind of hear the bear just kind of give these strange growls and moans, and just
I'm gonna just growl and huff back at it. Just trying to pretend I'm having a conversation.
It tilts its head a bit, like, and you can see like the ears just kind of flop over, and it's just...
I'm gonna get a good sniff of the bear.
You're gonna lean your head.
Are you gonna bite its ear too?
Are you
Yeah,
leaning
sure.
your head
I mean,
into
it's
its...
been friendly so far.
All right.
Sure. Yeah.
You watch as he places his large groomed head into the cage. His all the way up to where his shoulders are holding against the iron bars. And he takes a giant of the bear's hand or paw.
After I get a
Smells
good
like
sniff of it.
bear.
Okay. Perfect. I've seen a tracker do this once before, I think.
Are you gonna go sniff the ground now, Decimus?
Not here.
All right.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I've seen this before.
Yeah. I have the utmost faith in you.
That's because you're a man of faith. I have
I'm
no
gonna-
such delusions.
I'm gonna make some growls and grunts at the bear, and thanks, bud. You're great.
So, should we into town now?
I think so. I've
On
got
outta
a scent
here.
on lockdown.
I'm gonna stop and ask this guard on the way out where exactly this derby is so we can see if we can't figure things out.
Oh, the Derby. Center of town. Just walk straight through, head to the center. You'll see a bunch of lined off areas with these thick burgundy looking ropes. We rope them off every twice a month.
A derby in the middle of town. That must be messy.
No, this will be great.
Sir, let's go, Joe.
All right.
You know, they don't call me a dirty dog for nothing.
The guard kind of looks back.
I ain't touching that one. Just ignore him. He
My
had far
sniffer.
too much to drink yesterday.
My sniffer
Get
is
out!
is acute, like a dog. And obviously, I don't shower enough.
Right.
Yep. So he acts and smells like a dog, is what he's trying to tell us, I think.
Dogs are one of the smartest animals I know.
So as you head past the guard kind of gives you all just a solemn look of just between this confusion and disgust as you three walk by. And you slowly start
And the look on my face, so.
You walk down this dusty road into what seems to be the entrance, coming past a couple farms at first, and you've done this before, and then you walk into the actual main town. And the town has most of the buildings seem to be wood in nature, thatched roofs, single story, and then the only thing you do see is you do see a few of them that are much larger, and then one sits about 2 or 3 blocks in that seems to be risen above the 1 to 2 roomed houses. You're guessing it's either some sort of building or estate or inn or whatnot. So.
Well, let's just keep walking through town until we find said derby.
Is that first up on our to-do list?
Yes,
You're sure?
because the sooner we get this taken care of, the sooner the carnival can get back in business, and then our friends can, keep making a living while we go off and take care of the bear problem or whatever chase the bear out problem.
Okay, you're right. Money is very important for booze.
And food.
Oh, uh-huh.
And booze food.
repairs.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yes.
as you guys get through about midway, a few blocks in, you see this massive building compared to the rest around it. And in there, you can see on this wooden plaque that kind of sits in the front of it, to the right-hand side of it, it says the half pint. And you can see here, there's two different sets of troughs and three sets of horses that could be hooked at this point. And then right across the street, you can start to see these heavy burgundy ropes that are kind of roped off. They go up this one street up to the north. And then on the other side of the street, they're roped off as well.
Are we continuing on, or are we gonna stop here and ask for directions?
Well, we need to find someone to figure out where this jockey was that died. I'm guessing perhaps where the jockeys typically are. Never
Oh,
actually
yeah.
been in a derby. It's not something we back home.
I mean, is
I've read
there
stories about
like
this. You got to find like the crime scene.
is there like a bar or anything here at the Derby that we can ask people questions? Maybe they've heard stories
I mean, there's people walking
Where you can get a
walking
drink.
around.
and ask about stories.
There's multiple people that seem to be shuffling, doing their day-to-day
It's-
around.
Well, there's a
Uh,
fellow who looks approachable. Walk over.
Are they
Sir,
wearing
we're
like
trying to
jockey's
find
clothing?
the jockey. Do you know where the jockeys are?
Oh.
I'm very interested in what they do.
The jockeys, they normally they stay up north of here in a small retreat almost. But normally what they'll do is they'll start up at the northern half and then they'll ride this road to the inn, which is right here, and he points to the half pint. And he says, this is where we celebrate the winter, and normally celebrations and festivities are going on, but sadly somebody died yesterday, and we had to
Oh,
close
that's
down the
horrible.
derby.
What happened?
We don't know. We know he got to about the three-fourths way in, and he was ahead, and then all of a sudden we watched as his body just kind of fell off, and then as he hit the ground and rolled, the horse continued to go.
That's terrible. He just fell off his horse.
That's why
there was no arrow. Awful.
that's why everything seems very strange right now.
Was he a young person?
I mean, he's a seasoned jockey, but he's not an old gentleman who like has a bad heart or could just die at the whim. He's got many years to himself.
Okay.
My friend here is a man of faith, and he'd like to, see the spot just to offer prayers for the jockey's family.
Well, I mean, I've got to get some food for my family, and I was heading over to the market. But if you just take this road north about 3 blocks, you'll see the incident. There's probably flowers alms and
All right, thank you.
yes.
The
Thank you.
blessings be on you, and I'll just awkwardly bow.
Oh yeah.
Let's go check it out.
Right.
Hey, Karis, do you think you might be able to find out if it was, if there's maybe a taint of bad magic still hanging around?
I can
You say.
definitely check.
So as you
So
wander
we're
up the
gonna-
street, and there's buildings on both sides, and if you guys are looking for anything specific, we can definitely figure out where they're at. But you walk up about the 3 blocks, and you get to this spot, and you can see flowers have kind of been placed in not just a circle, but it kind of covers where the jockey fell, and on top of it, there's seems to be multiple urns that have been or vases that have been placed with specific symbols of different gods placed on it.
Hey, Carries, you know about magic stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is there like any special magical spell that could just kill someone like that?
Maybe out of everything I've read, there's definitely some powerful magics in this world. Nothing that I know about. So,
Because
Well, there was that demon. You know what, Pithith? And Essifer's
don't-
just gonna kind of
Oh,
turn
yeah.
and look around at all the buildings to see if maybe it wasn't, a magic strike. Maybe someone hit them with a dart, or even
I mean,
a bullet
like-
from a sling. Any place someone might have been standing to.
Give me a perception check.
every time I've seen you cast your magics, then you either have some cool hand gestures or words that go along with it. I don't know if anyone may have been taking a good look at the stands or see if there was anyone doing some crazy hand signs, sign language. I don't know.
I mean, it's very possible, but I mean, that's this large. It's unlikely that we would find a culprit in the stands if that was the case.
I heard about this story in a book one time where a writer nearly got thrown off their steed from some crazy enchanting. I don't know. I assume it was some sort of magical thing. It might be similar. I don't know.
Could be. Could have had a heart attack too. But,
He said
in
that
any
he wasn't
event,
very old though, so heart attack shouldn't be it.
yeah.
Maybe he was
Oh, I'm
very
gonna-
overweight.
Not if he was joking.
Yeah, something like that. It's all that excess energy he was carrying around. Make his horse go faster.
Extra stores.
Yeah, I am going to cast Detect Magic. So I will take out my tome and I just put it up against my face and kind of use it as like binoculars.
All right. So, first off, Essifer, as you kind of look around, you can see that most of the buildings are one story. There seems to be small alleyways between every 2 to 3 buildings. There are spots where people could hide and kind of be looking out. But you can also see that there doesn't seem to be any like vantage points or anything where somebody could literally just chuck something, because all the ropes, and you can see where the ropes were put at, there's just footstep tracks all the way up and down. So you have a feeling that this is most likely pretty packed during this time frame. Okay. So as you place the book up over your face like this, and you, for a moment there, get this strange, almost like blip, like echolocation type, right there where that spot was being told.
Oh,
And it's
well, that's interesting.
It's faint. It's very faint.
Interesting, Karis.
Did you find anything in your book?
I mean, kind of. No, Decimus, when you're right, you're right. I definitely think this was magic.
If someone doesn't have health issues, then there should be no reason that they just die and fall off of a horse in the middle of a race. I know I wouldn't.
Yeah. Looking around the area, do I see any of other blips go off?
No, that seems to be the only one, and it's very faint.
Is it just right there where the man fell? Or does it seem to come from somewhere else, Karis?
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Just right around here.
Did you check the stands, maybe?
I would have spent the 10 minutes checking as much as I could, but I doubt I could have.
Okay. So where you guys are at right now in the town is there's no really stands. It's kind of like a parade at this point where they would just stand against the ropes on both sides to watch the race.
Okay.
That makes a lot more sense to me.
I
I thought we were talking about like a stadium or something.
They're not like wheeling in stands to place.
This is not the Rose Parade.
No.
Sure. No.
And you can see that as you look up the road, about until it gets almost to the point where the houses stop, that's where you start to see what seems to be actual platforms placed in this massive barn that kind of sits off to the left-hand side. And then you can see what looks like almost like an outpost defense tower, but it's sat right there at where the derby would begin.
Where do you think that barn is where they keep the horses?
I mean, I'd like to keep my horse inside. I don't know.
You know, and these horses, they're pretty valuable. People pay a lot of money for them. They're going to be protected. More so than the jockeys.
So someone may have stolen the horse?
Either that or, who knows, maybe he was poisoned or something, or some kind of, magical item was given to him for luck, but not the kind he wanted.
Maybe he was fed some rancid meat.
Hey, that probably would have hit him before he even got on the horse. I'm thinking something more slow acting. I mean, there has to be apothecaries. It's a big city.
Maybe we should check out this barn. If it's got a horse, maybe we can check out what horse he was riding.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go check out this
Sounds
barn.
like good logic to me.
All right. So as you head up the road, and you pass a couple places, you get to this area where it just becomes open around, and then this is where multiple platforms have kind of been set next to the road, and then the 3 different rows of chairs are set up, and they go all the way to the end where this just dug out looking beginning line starts. And you can see on there, on this post, this billboard that's kind of sits to the right-hand side of the tower, different names on it and different medals placed to it. And it goes from oldest to newest. It goes Hamilton, 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 Foster, Hamilton, Hamilton, Mordrell, Foster, Hamilton, Foster. And Foster would be the newest one that
Would
you
we-
guys have seen.
Okay. Would we be familiar with any of these names at all for any reason?
Give me a history check.
Do I recognize any of these names? I can try a history check, I suppose.
History.
Interesting. So,
Yeah, you would think it'd be the other way.
Hey, I hear stories
Hey.
sometimes.
Too bad you
alright?
don't know I have encyclopedia knowledge about derbies. Who knew?
it's.
But then I did
not-
say
stories
that
being from
we did-
Darkenhaven. So
we didn't have derbies up in the sky.
So you know that mostly the names that are being said are noble families or they're rich families. The one that catches all three of you though is Mordrell.
how do I know this name?
Because that's from Griffin Andorf. That was one of the names for the founding. I found it in a book. The name that
It was
what's her
one of-
name?
It was one of the
How'd
oldest
you know?
families.
Leah?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was a neighbor
Lias.
of theirs.
Yes. It was a neighbor of theirs. Their family is one of the founding families of Grandorf. And apparently a very skilled jockey for a few years.
Okay.
And how old is that name on this sign? How long has it been since it was there?
About a year. Let's see here. Where's my alerts?
So the medals are showing what year they won.
Yep.
And so it goes. The newest one is Foster,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Hamilton,
Mm-hmm.
and then Mordrell. So they run this derby more than once a year.
So they run it more than once a year. However, it's accumulating of how many we have. Oh no, that's not good.
Oh no!
Is your mic unmuted on Streamlabs?
Yeah, it's unmuted. If I've been
Um,
talking for over an hour and nobody's heard me, this is bad.
Is what is your
How about
decibel set
now?
at?
Test. Hello.
I can hear
Turn up
you,
my
but
sound.
barely. Maybe you just need
Everyone
to project
else's mic
more.
is better. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have
Okay,
like
I can-
stand
I
right
can
next to
hear
my
you.
mic.
Get closer to your mic. Project.
Your mic is so quiet. It's weird.
I'm pretty sure it's his voice and not his mic.
No, I'm talking pretty loud, so I'm gonna have to figure out why it's doing that. Okay.
I mean,
Anyway.
in Discord it sounds perfectly fine. So
Yeah, that's the scary part. So,
From the diaphragm, James.
right? Yeah, no, I know.
Oh.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to see if there's something wrong with this
I
mic
think
then.
it's
but-
Streamlabs because even like when I'm doing Streamlabs, then everyone says that the volume's a little quiet, but everything is maxed out. So
So, as
we'll
you
have to mess with it some more.
continue to, yeah, I think so. Where were we? Mordrell. So yeah, so what the derbies are placed, at least for the medal wise, is how many they've won that year, and then the
Okay.
most would be set up that way.
I wonder if there's someone around here who can tell us the name of the jockey.
I'm sure somebody
know.
knows.
Well, I'm sure they know, but would they be willing to share?
I don't see why not.
Karis, I think you should ask, as that you're going to offer prayers for the family, and it's always easier to do if you know the name. You are our cleric.
If you want to give me a book, I
guess
can back
that's
you up.
true. Ooh, now let's do that. I'll rummage around and I'll pull out the empty ledger I have that I took from
I'll never
that
know, I
underneath the
promise.
chapel. Yeah. Is there anyone around?
There's random people walking, doing their day to day, but nobody that seems to be just paying attention to you guys looking at this.
Sure.
Um, every once in a while, you will get
Are we?
a glance or two that people will look at you funny that you're just standing in the middle of the Derby Road. But where you guys are at now, there's really nobody around.
Excuse me there, sir. I have heard about this terrible tragedy that's befallen this derby yesterday. I've come to pay my respects and give the jockey a safe passage to the next life, but I unfortunately do not know his name. Could you tell him to me?
The man has this almost tick to him where he's just holding his hands and you can see that they're very sweaty, and he's trying to keep almost to a point where he doesn't want to speak to you, but he goes, the man's name is Otto, Otto Foster, and I'm sorry, I have to get back to the barn. I have to take care of the horses.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
May blessings be upon you. And I'm going to bow.
And also upon you.
I think we should follow.
What? Why should we follow? Did I miss something?
I don't know. At least go into the barn, and maybe we can figure out what horse it was. It seemed kind of sketchy too, but I know we are big guys.
Yeah, I don't think he would like it if a couple of large dudes like us were just following him.
Sure.
Maybe we could make it.
If we're not gonna follow them.
Maybe Esper could.
Oh yeah.
That was
We
cool.
can.
Thank you again for the sub. All right. So if you guys are going to follow him, I need you guys. Are you doing it sneakily, or are we trying to just nonchalantly walk behind it?
I don't think the two of us are going to. A couple of big dudes isn't gonna work too great.
I can't hear Esper.
Yeah, you need to get closer to your mic or something. Oh, your mic is muted. That's why.
There we go.
Exactly. These guys can't sneak, so I'm gonna just walk along and happen to be going in the same direction the man is.
Okay.
It's not like I'm furtively going from shadow. It's gonna be very open and nonchalant.
Okay.
Kind of dancing down the street.
So as you three start to walk towards the barn, the man kind of every once in a while will glance back over his shoulder and keep walking.
I'll give him a brilliant smile.
I would like to point out that myself and Decimus are not following Essifer.
Okay.
Instead, I will pull out copper wire and just periodically say, "See, did you find anything?" Like every 30 seconds.
All right. So
Tin cannon string kind of thing here.
magical cannon string, but yeah, you know. It takes you a minute, and as you get farther and farther away from the other two, he starts to glance back, and you smile, and kind of walks up closer to the barn. And as he's getting ready to open the door of the barn, he looks back, and then kind of slides around the door and in and closes the barn door.
We
They're
missed
such
half of that.
amazing creatures. She's gonna keep walking right up to the barn door and kind of slide it open. And is it okay if I see the horses?
As you do so, two very burly-looking guards kind of meet you at
No.
the door.
Oh no.
What's your business?
Wanted to see the horses. I've heard so much about them.
I am sorry, the horses are not allowed to be seen at this moment.
Are they okay? I hope not. I heard something horrible happened, and I just hope they're all right. Can you tell me they're all right?
They are fine.
Can I come back with treats for them? I'll give them to you. I won't ask them. I just, carrots or whatever.
Fine. Whatever.
I can afford carrots.
Did you find anything?
Now they're not.
That's exactly it.
All right.
Find
thank you.
anything?
Have a lovely day.
You as well.
He's blessed.
Shuts the door.
And I'll wander back away and head towards the market and assume these two will come join me at some point. Hopefully not being too obvious.
No, that might be too much to ask for.
I said hopefully.
See, why aren't you talking back? You can reply to me. What's going on?
That doesn't
You
actually
find something
work.
new?
The horses are under lock and key. They're not letting anybody in to see them. Something definitely is going on. I need to get some carrots.
What'd she say?
Oh, okay. She has to get carrots for something. And I don't know, the horses are fine or something.
The horses, they're hungry.
That makes sense, probably.
Okay.
I think she's gonna
Should
instant in with the carrots.
should we go? Should we go with her, or do we just stay here?
I guess. Yeah, I think it's completely fine.
Okay.
I don't like talking into this thing anyways.
That's a little weird. I don't know what the heck it is that you're doing there.
I'll teach you sometime.
No idea what he's doing either.
Yeah, so since he's got the
I don't
since
know.
he
Maybe
keeps
he
pulling
knocked
out
over an
the
artificer.
he keeps pulling out the string and casting on the copper wire, as he's talking to Decimus, and you are just getting this secondary phone call pretty much coming in and out.
I have no idea what these boys are doing.
I don't think anybody does ever.
We're going to meet up.
They do
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head down to the market and acquire some carrots and come back.
Okay. So as you two wander off, she kind of goes straight down the road to the local market
We're going to
area,
meet up with her.
and she's greeted by a young man and his wife. They both are in normal town's clothes. She's got kind of this bonnet sitting on her head, and he's not stocky. He's pretty scrawny looking, but he's got these like patchwork pieces to his shirt that he has on right now. And he looks over and he says, "Oh, welcome. Is there anything we can help you with?"
Wanted to get some carrots.
"Oh, carrots. Yes, we have carrots." And he kind of walks over to a barrel and just pulls out 3 carrots. And 3 copper.
Do you have any more carrots than that? I can pay for them. Or is that all you have?
How many would you like?
You know, do you have 5 at least?
Of course. He grabs 2 more.
There's some treats. Thank you.
Yes. You've got 5 carrots.
I have 5 carrots.
All right.
I'm gonna wander back up and
Okay.
see if I can't see the horse.
All right. So as you're wandering up there, what are you two doing?
We were going to meet up with her as she went off to get
Oh.
carrots.
Absolutely. And I think we both know she would have gone to a farmer to try and get carrots.
Okay. So
I
as
mean,
you
how
guys-
far away from where we were standing was
Just
the
the-
barn?
The main market. It's what, 5 blocks?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 blocks is walking to the market. You guys are gonna walk on the outskirts around the town to the closest farm.
I mean, would we have been able to see her at the barn?
Yeah, you would have been able to see her walk by unless you guys were already wandering off beforehand.
No, we just stayed back and then let her go stalk the guy over to the barn.
Oh, so you're
So if
kind of
we
like
were able to-
you're kind of like the schoolgirls at the end of the school, like just giggling while the other one goes up. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
So as she went to go get carrots, we would have run to caught up with her, right?
Sure. Well,
You
we can do
guys are
that.
being very obvious. Chill.
I mean, I think I'm pulling
I'm
off
gonna-
this whole priest type person role
Okay.
pretty good.
So they wouldn't let me in to see the horses, so I'm going back with the pretense of giving them the treats. Actually, you know what? I would give the horses the carrots anyways. So I think you guys are going to need to kind of try to go around and see if there are any other ways to see in, because there's definitely something going on there.
I mean, maybe we could try and get inside and by just posing as a couple of priests to bless the horses before a race.
You can try. But I will go up with my carrots. So when we arrive there, we can't look like we're together, okay?
I mean, we don't. We look like priests.
And what I'm saying is pretend you don't know me for a little while.
Okay.
So,
I will
alright,
go back
let's
with the
let's
carrots.
let her go first, and then we'll wait like 3 minutes, and then we'll go up next.
And then when
Yeah.
you guys go up, after I leave, I will go around the building, see if there's any other way in.
Okay.
Okay?
Who is Carrie's? Who is your deity again?
You see this pendant? It's for Laren. Just let everyone know, Laren.
For Laren, our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, something like that. Just tell them to go read a book. It'll be fine.
I think we've got this. This one's in the bag.
All right.
And
So
to herself, Essifer is saying, Glastry and Kisma, watch over me.
yes, you can almost feel the the stress that kind of pours out around these two. But as you guys start to wander back up towards the barn, you notice that the barn door has been like opened, and that there are now both of those guards are standing outside the barn door.
Well, I'm gonna try to get ahead of these two guys enough so we don't look like we're together.
Okay.
Move quickly without looking like I'm moving quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously carrying the carrots.
I almost feel this this Little Red Riding Hood type mentality going on, like skipping down the road with carrots in your hand, just like
Performative.
exactly, like very very lavish, exaggerating mentality.
Movements. Yes.
Yeah.
So even with the two giants shadowing me down the street, I should be on me.
Yeah, give me a persuasion check.
Oh boy, we got this. It's in the bag, guys.
That's for Esfer, not you.
I know that, but
Oh hell
I got this
yeah!
in the bag.
Apparently not.
Hell yeah!
That's a perfect
what?
roll.
That worked out really well for my players yesterday.
As you wander up, the guards kind of stop you. Halt.
I told you I was going to bring carrots back for the horses. You said it was okay.
The horses are currently being looked after. Have to be a moment. You, grab those.
I can wait.
One of the other guards looks over and he says, holds his hand out. Doesn't even say a word, just, all right, your business? Or are you just a
And carrots for the horses.
friendly...
I don't have any business. I'm just trying to be friendly.
All right.
I know most of my people are fairly reserved, but as you can see, there's none of them around, and this is mean.
Right. Well... And you see that the other
Fluttering
one
her
kind of look at him.
eyelashes.
The other one kind of look at him and he's like, I mean, she did bring carrots. I mean, at least let her maybe peek in. And you see the other guy just literally smack him upside the head. He's like,
So close.
Thank you, Winnie.
New recruits.
Sashay away.
new recruits. And they both go back in.
Very
They kind of walk
sachet.
in around, and then you see the barn door shut again.
And then I'm going that way.
You're heading around the other side.
Following. I'm going to go head around the other side and just kind of stop at the end and rifle through my sleeves like I'm looking for something and wait for the two guys to get to the door.
Can you do that thing again with that piece of string?
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. It's been a little while. Should we see if she's done with her stuff?
I think we should just go.
Just go?
Completely fine. Yeah, absolutely. We said 3 minutes. Probably been 5. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my book and walk like a religious person would, I guess.
Walk this way.
Don't walk like me.
I'm just gonna like stand up tall and rigid. Just have like a very disciplined way about my walk, I guess.
Okay.
That's really good. And I'll start copying Decimus.
I'm just rifling through my sleeves, kind of looking down there, just, oh boy.
All right. So the two of you start to head over to the barn, and it's currently shut. You're walking over with your chest out, kind of looking very important.
I'll knock on the stable door, I guess.
You see it?
Are the doors still open?
No, they closed it when they walked in with the
Okay.
carrots. And the guy looks out, and this one's the younger man that you watched. Hello.
Hello. Yes. I am here on.
Oh no.
Oh no, he froze.
Oh no. He froze. And the sound cut out.
Was doing well, and to bless it. Would you mind letting us in and taking us to the horse?
You want to bless the horses?
That is correct. We're here to
it's-
bestow blessings upon the horses.
Specifically, the foster horse.
What? Wait. Why do you want to bless the foster horse?
We've heard about
Well-
the recent event, and we know that it is very damaging to the mental stability of the horse to lose its rider the way that it did.
Yes, it's very much a spiritual fact. However, it was the foster family who has paid us, Church of Laren, to come and bless their horse, as unfortunately their son has passed, and they, find a new rider, and if the horse is blessed, usually kind of works out a little bit better. So, patching out that juju with a new rider and all.
Oh, do you have any resemblance of your temple or order? Anything that could show that you're an actual cleric?
I'll just show him my brooch for Laren.
Okay.
Well, at least you didn't hit him with the book.
Right here.
He's like, here, boom.
Oh, that's right. I see it now.
God.
All right. Yes. Let me make sure that the sable guards are not going to be. 1 second. And he closed the door.
As he closes the door, I'm just gonna whisper over to Carrie's. I told you this would go well.
Oh, I'm really surprised.
And now that they're at the door, I'm gonna continue my way around the said barn.
It's almost like we know what we're doing.
Pure dumb luck.
But someone does, because I'm not sure.
You kind of hear him walk back, like you hear the footsteps and the dusted ground, and he kind of opens it.
I stiffen back up.
The guard says you have about 5 minutes, so I hope the
Plenty of
family
time.
the family of Foster. I wish them well. And he kind of steps back, and now you walk into this stable, and this stable's huge. Like normal stables will have 4 or 5 horses. This has probably got 2 sets of one on each side of rows of stables that have just all the way down the line, 16, 17 horses on each side, of different families, and
Certainly didn't bring enough carrots.
And I wish I could speak to horses.
and you walk in, and the 2 guards are just kind of standing there with their arms crossed. Each one is holding what looks like a short sword, and their one hand is kind of sitting at the ready on the hilt.
Sure. Yeah. Would you find gentlemen and pointing out to us foster family horse?
Neither one of them speak, and they just look over at the other guy. Right this way.
Thank you.
And you walk down about 4 or 5 stalls and to the right, and there's this beautiful brown burgundy horse with white spots on it, and it's got this purple saddle with a gold trim and what looks like multiple ribbons placed on the side of it with this heavy almost, I wouldn't say rug, but like cover that goes over underneath the saddle. And this is the horse.
Perfect specimen. Thank you so much. We will begin our ritual immediately. Decimus, you know what to do.
Of course. You have some
I have
religious
my
work,
barrel.
So glad I'm not in there for
I'll
this.
just say anything. I have my carol of my barrel of holy water, and I'm just kind of like flashing it around the horse.
And you see that first the horse is kind of like starts kind of
I'm gonna gently rub the horse down as I start to speak kind of gibberish, just pretending to speak like a religious language with my book out, just open on some random page.
give me a
Est blay ooh yay.
give me a
A little big
deception.
Latin going on there.
Give me a deception check, please.
Oh no.
Well, you guys roll better than I do. You should be fine.
Oh no.
We'll see. We will see.
Oh no.
As you're just kind of reading out of this book, the guy kind of walks like nonchalantly around you, and he looks in, and the book has like nothing. Wait. Guards, I think we have some imposters.
Carries, you're gonna need to show him your book.
No, what are you talking about? We're doing a ritual, and so we are gathered here today to bless this horse in the name of the foster family. And I'm quickly doing this as the guards are coming, just trying to wait. Hold on, I gotta see if
We
this
just
is
slowly get
something I can
louder
do or
and
not.
louder as.
Yeah. So as I'm doing this, I've casted Detect Magic, and I'm just kind of circling the horse to see if there's anything funky about it.
The saddle itself is giving off a heavy amount of magic.
Okay.
You know, kind of-
Okay. The saddle, not the rug.
Yes, the saddle, not the rug.
And as the guards, I'm assuming they're gonna just drag us out.
You see the ones actually pulled out like a small set of iron shackles.
Oh shit! This got real.
Just show
Okay.
him your book.
You two need to leave now. I don't know who you are,
Yes,
and apparently
He
you
told
are not
you-
of the foster family, and the foster family will find out about this.
I mean, obviously, we're not of the foster family. We were hired by a foster family for this ritual.
So, anyways, as my priest friend, said, we are going to leave, and yeah, you can just tell the foster family hi for us. That'd be great. And as I try and drag Decimus out, I kind of want to like the remaining time I have on Detect Magic, kind of shift between the other horses and saddles and see if there's any other magical vibes.
You get 3 other blips by different saddles in the stables.
Okay. Is it about 15 horses?
Yeah. There's about 15 horses in there. 3 of them are showing with the similar magic.
Oh, I think that went rather swimmingly.
I think you did great, and I will definitely write your recommendation to seminary.
I don't know what that means, but that sounds very good.
Yes, I think we should go. Maybe find Essie and leave.
I mean, at least they don't think of us as something worse, right?
You can kind of see him just push you guys out of the room, and he's like, and they.
I'm checking out the building from the outside.
Out the
You
building,
may
You'll
need to
have
teach
to
me
catch
like
some
out the
religious
outside
words.
areas.
Mm-hmm.
The barn is very strangely. There's no windows. There's no other door. The only thing
Very strange.
The only thing you can see is what looks like large vents that kind of are about 10 feet off the ground, and they kind of are cut into the walls at the top for air.
Otherwise, it would get really smelly in there. I'm looking up. How tall are you guys?
Well, I'm like 8 foot something.
He is. He's a big boy.
He's the tallest.
You
Carrie's.
think you can manage to give me a boost without throwing me over the building? Like, just put your hands out like this. And
I mean, you could just get on my shoulders.
how high up is this air hole ductwork?
The
thing?
air hole itself is about 12 feet off the ground, and then you've got about another 3 feet before you would actually get to the roof.
Yeah. Karis, give me a hand up. Stand still,
Sure.
Decimus. We're gonna climb Decimus like a tree.
Okay.
And attempt to scoot into that air vent to see what we can see from up top.
I'll get down on my knees while she gets on.
Okay.
Hang on.
As you guys kind of, using the 3 of you, you very easily scale up the side there, and you kind of peek through, and the vent's just enough really to put your head so you can see through. And you look down, and you can see 4 horses all on the left-hand side. The
You
guards-
wanted me to climb up there with you, correct?
No.
Oh, okay. Just.
No, she
There's
just
only
wanted
room
help
for one
because
of
she
us.
didn't want me to touch her.
Oh, okay.
That was not it. You are taller than I am. I needed a step stool.
Okay.
So as you get in there, like I said, you can look, and you see that the guards are kind of pacing back and forth. And this man is brushing the Hamilton horses. The 3.
I am.
One was the Foster horse that you were looking at.
I am realizing we didn't tell her anything. Pulling out some of my copper stuff and whispering into it. Yeah, Essie. I'll describe the horse and then let her know about the magical residue of the saddle.
Was it?
Can I spot said horse?
From this angle, no. It's not on this side.
Is it a good kind of magic? A bad kind of magic?
see it from here. We
Beyond the spell.
that there is a port on the other side. We can see if we can get to that. We'll need to go around the building. We probably shouldn't walk past the door again.
I mean, we can just go around back.
Yes.
Let's do that and try again.
Okay.
Around the building to the opposite port.
Okay. And that once you get up there, you can now see up through and looking this direction now, you can now see the horse that he has described. The brindle horse with the white spots. Purple saddle.
Saddled. Poor thing. They didn't take a tack off. Is anybody doing... does the horse seem okay from this angle? Like it's healthy?
All the horses in here seem extremely healthy.
Extremely well. Okay.
Yeah, extremely well off.
But are they happy?
Matter of opinion. They're not running, so no. And we still have the guards pacing back and forth, and the grooms doing their business. Anybody who looks out of place besides us?
In the area, no. I mean, other than 2 guards being in the stable, but you also know this is most of these horses, if not all of these horses, do participate.
Are very valuable.
Yeah.
So.
And owned by not
guards
only.
would not be.
The one thing you would know as just traveling folk is that this is one of those places where not just people from Tothenshire would come to race. It would be all throughout Zyranthia that they would come race these horses. So you have the neighboring locations all coming to this location. So.
Okay. Well, guys, I don't know. I can't see anything out of the ordinary here. And them not letting people get in and around the horses isn't really that unusual. Ideas.
Well, I don't know a lot about racing horses, but this one in particular looked pretty decorated. Probably a very well-performing horse.
That would make
Or
sense,
a
yes.
rich family.
Well, from what we've... Usually only wealthy families can afford these kinds of horses.
Do either of you know much about the horse racing world? Maybe family rivalries? Anything?
Could be
Nada.
hard to say.
Do you think Dell might, if we
And
talk to him later?
he might.
Maybe. But, I think the best shot right now is to report what we found to Quimber, and maybe the local authorities can look into it, and maybe the saddle had something to do with his death.
If it was cursed or bewitched or anything. Could you tell? You said it was magic. Could you tell if it was...
Yeah, I'm not that experienced yet. I can only see magical residue. I can't tell what type it is or where it came from or anything like that.
Yeah, we can report back. Don't know what else we can do here. Don't know how many people are going to talk to us because everybody's very busy. We could... Kind of looks at Decimus. We could stop at the inn to see if we hear any scuttlebutt that inn/tavern we passed on the way in.
I mean, sometimes bars have the greatest source of information.
Mm-hmm. But instead of asking, because Dell's really the person who's good at that, and he unfortunately isn't here, you know, we could kind of listen in. They probably would frown on any performances in town.
I mean, I could be pretty persuasive.
We don't need you popping any heads today.
No, I won't. I won't hurt anyone. Just friendly threaten.
No. that's just going to get the guards to turn out in force.
I mean,
Buy
I
someone
don't
a
know.
drink, loosen their tongue kind of persuasion.
Hey, Carries,
Yeah.
someday you're gonna have to teach me some religious chants.
Sure. Yeah. I can definitely do that.
I think our skit will work perfectly whenever we need to do that again. If I actually know some real religious chants.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
don't-
We might need to come across a other religious textbook instead of a ledger. It might help too.
I'm
Or
sure
you
we could
could
find.
write some words in it.
I'm
Also
sure we could find
true.
a book of scripture somewhere. Maybe a library or a bookstore. I don't know.
Karis could always
Oh.
copy over pages from his book.
I could. I don't think that's good.
I mean, is there like a temple of Larry around in this town somewhere?
To my knowledge,
think
is
we need
there
the Temple of
a
Kisma.
Temple of Laren anywhere in the vicinity?
So temples are different within Zyranthia. So a lot of times temples are built for just common worship, and then once you arrive within the temple, you would go to a small shrine or
Okay.
and then a lot of times
So would there be like a liaison for your specific deity?
kind of, but a lot of with it being a polytheistic world, they more so group together for everyday things. So like you would most likely anybody would say their prayer or blessing to Kismia to make sure that they get luck, no matter if it's for gambling or for the business or travel, and then it just depends on what that specific deity is for. Laren, I'm not clear on which one's that one.
It's the
Well,
God
we
of
should go
knowledge.
Oh,
We should go find a temple anyways, because we could really use Kismia's help right now.
yeah. So Laren would be more of something you would see specifically in an archive, or in specifically with hers, it's going to be archive, libraries, maybe heavy vendors that sell books or scrolls, but
Okay.
you wouldn't really see or even it could also be a university or research area, but you wouldn't really see a temple based solely from Laren.
Is there like a book with like maybe the word of Larry or something? Do they have their own book?
I mean, it's Laren, so there's lots of books. Even celebrate, the book Day of the Tome. So it wouldn't be very hard to find one, I'm sure.
So they do have their own book of their word, and not just like you just pray to them, and maybe if you're lucky, they'll show you some love and give you power.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how it works for everyone else.
Okay. I think we should get a book and make this more presentable and believable. And
Yes.
maybe I could learn how to read above a 4th grade level.
I can definitely help you with that, Pessimus. But I think you should probably report back or go to the tavern and
Yeah,
hear the gossip of the town.
I think we should do that. bet we could find all sorts of information on the event, or maybe just some theories or some fake news.
Or yeah, there could be bad blood between jockeys,
That's
Or,
what I'm thinking is maybe
families.
there's some rivalry between families and one of them had an order, like maybe like a hitman contract on these foster people.
Mm, yeah.
Maybe they're trying to
Possible.
dethrone the champions, you know.
Yeah. And I guess we won't really know until we find out.
Yeah, let's go see what people have heard or know.
All right. So as you head down to
Sure.
back to the half pint, which is amusing because of the size of the actual inn itself, and you walk in and it's very clean. There's over a dozen people sitting in different areas. There's multiple tables that are open. There's a bar, and there's what looks like a older gentleman, his wife, and probably they all have a similar look to their facial features, and you're guessing it's almost like a family restaurant type. And he watches you walk in and just kind of keeps an eye on you as you all three walk in.
Do I notice them noticing us?
Give me a perception.
I
Hopefully
can
not.
try. I can definitely try. I see something.
Yeah, you see him glance over it.
I'll give him a good awkward bow.
He kind of at
Go
first
find us a table.
he kind of gives this return bow, but with an absolutely confused look on his face. He just
Yeah, you find us a table. I'm gonna go speak with them. They might know something.
Sure.
Wait for service. Why don't we have some food and drink while we're here? Take it easy on the drink.
I thought you said that we're buying other
Oh,
people
sure,
drinks.
sure.
Yes.
a young
Don't
lady
drink
walks over to you
Water yours one
and
down.
states, "Welcome to the half pint. What can I get you for food or beverage?"
What's your special today,
Oh,
Laura?
because of our the derby right now, we have rack of lamb and vegetables with a house ale.
Sounds good, Karis. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's drink that shit. That sounds great.
Three, please. For the three of us, our other friends over there, he'll be joining us shortly.
Of course. Are you? Never mind. And she kind of walks off.
Her name's Laura, right?
No, her name is not Laura.
Who was the guy that noticed us come in?
The tavern owner.
The tavern owner. Okay. Yeah. So I'll walk up to him. What time of day is it?
Shortly after, or shortly before lunch.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I'll walk up to him. Good noon, sir.
Hello.
Got a quick question for you. Have you heard any stories about what happened at the Derby?
I have, and I'm very sorry that it happened. Can I get you anything to drink?
That surprised me. And I'll slip him a couple silver.
He looks down at the silver, slides it off, walks over, grabs what seems to be just an average everyday ale, and pours it and hands it to you.
I'll take a sip or two. What kind of things have you been hearing about it? I mean, I'm sure you overhear all sorts of conversation here.
I mean, it's sad to hear that the family lost a son, and it seems that they're concerned that there was some ill intent. Spotting of carnival folk is never a good sign, and we have a feeling they're probably up to it. You know, they like to stir trouble.
You know those carnies. They're rascally devils.
Yes.
Ill blood, you say, or ill intent. What do you mean by that?
Well, the young man was not of bad health, wonderful family. There's no reason for him to just fall off a horse and die. So, I have a feeling that something went wrong. I don't know what.
I'm gonna try and sleight of hand a piece of gold to him.
You're gonna sleight of hand a piece of gold to him.
Yeah, so like other people in the bar don't notice.
Oh, okay. Give me a sleight of hand check.
I just don't want anyone else noticing. Maybe they're paying attention too. Maybe they're listening in on the conversation. I don't know. That ain't good.
Shh. He kind of looks at you funny because you still keep your hand like over it, like you're trying to conceal it. He's just like, okay.
Have you heard any maybe family rivalries or
He kind
know
of
of any
grabs your
history?
hand with his wrist and kind of picks it up and then grabs the other hand, slides out from underneath it. Rivalries are kind of a thing around here. If you have a family with enough wealth to have a horse or two, you've probably got a rival or two. But thank you for the patronage.
I'm sure you've heard more stories than that. More theories. Side conversation.
I hear my fair share, but I also don't like to spread rumors.
I mean, I definitely won't spread them any further if you don't mind indulging.
You're not from around here, are you?
Well,
What gave you that idea?
I've been put to the task of finding out what's happened. with
By
this
who?
event. Some guards from Darkenhaven.
Oh, well, all the guards are from Darkenhaven, unless they're owned directly by a family.
Yeah, so a troop came over
Came
this
over
morning.
where?
to my abode, obviously.
Your boat.
Not boat, abode.
Your abode.
My home.
So you live
We're
here?
on the west side.
Oh, okay.
I enjoy watching horse races. Yeah, I wasn't able to make it out last night, but there were some guards that came by and wanted me to look into the issue. So I'm slightly undercover. That's what's up with this outfit.
You're undercover, huh? You're doing a wonderful job.
correct. Never would have guessed, would you?
No, the tablecloth gives it away. How about I get you another drink?
I'll gladly take another drink. You know anyone else in the area that generally might know a little family information?
Well, the only families here are the Hamiltons, the Fosters, and a younger family. They live up on the northern side of town. The Hogues.
These hogs, they trying to make a name for themselves in derby racing.
I mean, they're the newest family in the area that's started derby racing, and they've got only a single horse, but
They seem to be performing pretty well for being a new contender.
she's definitely giving the boys a run for their money, if that's what you're asking. Yes.
All right, well, I'll take that drink. Surprise me. And I appreciate the information.
Right. He goes over, he grabs this elongated, like, green bottle and just pulls the cork out, and just this heavy, thick, dark brown ale just pours out like syrup into the cup, and he hands it over to you. He says,
Dope.
"That'll, I think that'll be what you're looking for."
You're a great man. And
Do
I'll,
what I
I'll
can.
take my...
And you watch as he just grabs the bottle and then puts it away.
I'll walk back over to the table and let him know what I heard about the Hogues family and how they've been a surprising underdog and brand new family to contest. And they might be good to look into.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna
So
That's
they're-
great.
take a few
Mhm.
sips of this weird thick ale.
It's like a porter if you could make a porter any darker than it already is.
Does it taste good?
I mean,
How would Decimus know?
I was gonna say, yeah. It definitely
It
has.
tastes great.
It definitely has a very like I said, it's almost like maple syrup like thickness.
I just turned the cup up. Just
It just slowly just droops into your and just glurps into your mouth.
Hey, Carries, you want a taste of this?
Oh yeah, of course.
Slide the I'll slide the pint over.
Oh, yeah. I'll take a good old swig.
All right. Same thing. Like when it like literally when it hits your tongue, you can just feel it just heavy on the tongue as it's
Oh, oh man,
and
that's
then
some good
burns
stuff.
burns all the way down. Gr-
Keep you warm at night.
Garoon wouldn't feel it, but you as a half orc, half elf definitely feel it.
Her? Yeah. Uh huh. Oh,
Hey, Yesifer, you want a taste?
No, thank you.
And more for me.
well, if we got our next lead, maybe we should finish up here and head out.
We're just waiting for our food.
Uh,
Food,
go for a
Decimus,
bite.
food.
It's still about another 5 or 10 minutes go by, and you finally now get these 3 massive plates come out of just like a half rack of lamb, a set of assorted vegetables, mostly root vegetables, potatoes, carrots, and then another light colored pint of ale is placed at each of your
Heck, even Essifer's gonna eat that plate clean.
She looks over and she says, during the derby, we have specifics that we have to pay. We have to charge our patrons, so it's 5 gold a plate.
Sure. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Pull out our little
So you've got
treasury
the money
bag
back.
and pay the 5 gold.
15 per plate.
Or yeah, sorry, 15.
She watches you pull out the 15 gold like it's nothing, and she's just like, "Well, it's wonderful having you here at the Half Pint." She slides it into her hand, puts it into a saw satchel in her pocket, and then walks off.
Do you think she might have overheard any conversations being a hostess or a waitress?
No, I kind of forgot to ask. I was thinking more about this lamb.
I already finished mine. It
I
takes
just-
a lot to
I
maintain
just,
this
you feel
girlish
that
figure.
that sense of like
And then
the
you just like,
the
did you even
Flintstones.
taste it?
It's like the Flintstones, or like when Scooby Doo consumes like an entire chicken,
Oh,
he just
yeah.
kind of gone.
Nice.
Like grab like the center of the spine of the rib cage and just. So what else would you guys like to do?
It sounds like we got everything you need. So, maybe we should just go check out this Togue family.
I think that would be a really good idea. I mean, I'm definitely not the smartest person out there. I don't play Clue all the time, but the math kind of
Clue.
adds up.
Also check out the Hamiltons because they're probably the long-standing rivalry.
That's very true.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but I mean, they seem to be doing very well for themselves already. Wouldn't you
Mhm.
think it's more of the underdog that would take out a
Maybe.
little of the competition?
But also with noble families, there's usually a long history of bad blood.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
But only real question is how are we gonna interview these people? Are we just gonna
Well-
snoop around their property and look for poisons and stuff?
I mean, maybe what we could do is spend a little bit more time here in the bar, just go talk to some random people that are just sitting, talking, having a good time, and see if they've heard anything about these Hoagie family people.
which is now.
Right.
We could also talk to the Fosters and pay our respect.
I mean, we did just go see their horse and do a blessing ritual, so
I think we should not talk to the Fosters.
we
Why?
we didn't tell her about the bad encounter, did we?
No,
No.
Why?
you two. All she saw was you two just
I-
get pushed out of the barn by 2 guards.
What
I
did
think
you do?
I think we've done enough for the Foster family. In paying
Yes,
respects.
absolutely.
Okay, so
Yes.
I should go talk to the Fosters, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Not us. If they mention anything about 2 priests, you don't know us.
Not a problem. I have no idea who they're talking about.
Uh, all right. So, as you guys start to finish your plates, you've paid the lady already. Your plan is you two are going to head towards the Hogue family, correct?
I think.
Sure, yeah, we can split up if that's the way we want to do
Never split the party.
it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's a great idea.
I mean, we can get a lot more done if you go talk to one family and we talk to another.
I'll be fine.
Feels bad.
And we're in town. What could go wrong?
Seriously?
I mean, so far people have been looking at me pretty normally. So,
So far, so good.
yeah, I definitely look like a priest.
I need to find a temple.
I would like to find a temple as well, or maybe a library. I don't know. I don't know how this religion thing works.
All right. So as you two are heading, where are you two heading? So I know she's heading to the Fosters.
I think we're going to the Hogues.
Okay, and you two are going to head to the Hogue, so you're going to split the party. Fantastic. All right.
Perfect, yeah.
So as you guys
I like the way he said that.
head out to the out of the half pint and start to split your separate ways, we're going to take a short break. So
Okay.
we'll be back in just a couple minutes.
All right, while we're taking our break, I think I'm going to figure out how to get more water.
All right, and we're back. So,
All right.
here in a short
Right.
next week, just a heads up for everybody. Next week I will not be here. I will be off at work, but all 4 of the players should be here, and they are curious to figure out exactly what they want to do next week. So I think they're leaving it up for the players. So if you have any ideas you want to throw at them of what they might want to play next week, somebody has brought up a honey heist, which is about bears, literally bears. I know one of our players plays Stargate, so do that.
I DM that actually.
Exactly. We also have another very unique one called, what is it, 11 candles?
Candles,
10
yeah.
candles. So if you have any of those sound interesting and you'd like to see the players go head-to-head on one of those while I am out for work, I am happy to step back for the week and let you all hang out with them. And then I will be back the following week, and we will continue our story. So, and we'll put up a poll for that right at the end for anybody who's interested. But if you have other ideas, shout those out, and I'm sure our players will take those into consideration as well, as long as they can. And if you're ever interested in joining us on our stream, please let me know, and we can talk about that as well, because we want the community to be involved. So, as Decimus and Karis head off to the west, they're heading towards the Hogue family. Essifer wanders outside of the city perimeter to a large estate off the side of a hill where the massive iron H is placed within its gate door. And 2 guards sit
An
there
H.
at the edge of it as she starts to walk up.
It's an H
It's an H.
for the Fosters.
Oh, the Fosters, not the Hamiltons. My bad. I thought you went to the
You're
Hamiltons.
going to Foster's,
I
the
got
place that
confused there
we
for a second.
Should not go.
I'm very confused.
Yeah, so the Fosters are actually in the south. So let's rework that a bit. My bad. That's what happens when you hit a break and then
Where
you don't
am
write
I
down all the notes. So, and like I said, we're playing real D&D here. I don't record. I don't have any of this fully prepped. So, that's how it works. But as you head to the Fosters, you notice it's a smaller estate, walled off by what looks like wooden posts that kind of line the outskirts of it and wrapped around it in what looks like roses and other types of fauna and vines. And there is no gate. There is just an opening that goes up a long roadway up to what looks like a massive estate building, as well as a large barn that sits to the side of it.
Wandered the city to get out to the Foster farm. I did acquire along the way a bouquet of flowers,
Okay.
and I'm walking up this long drive, assuming nobody is.
There's
stopping me
nobody out.
to the front door. There's no one around.
Nobody around until you start getting closer to the actual estate.
Okay. And I'm gonna keep my eyes open and just see if anything seems out of place for a family in mourning.
There seems to be lining of the road with different vases of flowers, but other than that, but nothing that seems out of line for a mourning specifically.
So I'll go as far as I can until someone stops me and let them know that the flowers are. I brought the flowers and I wanted to pay my respects to the family.
So you get about 3/4 of the way up, and you're almost to the point where you're able to see the stairway up to this massive brown door, a wooden door, and you a young lady kind of steps out from this, walking towards you, and she says, "Those are absolutely beautiful flowers." I don't. The family is all here right now, and they're not really taking many visitors, but I'm sure if you place the flowers on the steps, they will get where they need to go.
All right, I can do that. I just wanted to pay my respects to the family. I just
Are you a close friend? I don't think I've seen you around here.
no. They don't know me at all. It's just I have a brother, and if anything happened to him like this, it would break my heart. And I just
You start to see her almost, like, just by talking about the brother, it start to kind of tear up, and she's like, I know, it's hard to find words.
and my brother's he's still out there. I haven't been able to see him in a while, but I can't even imagine. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Here, walk with me. And she kind of puts her arm around you, and she kind of turns, and you guys start walking towards the house. And as you do, she opens up this heavy door, and it swings open, and everything is in its place. Like, it's pristine clean. Little trinkets and heirlooms are placed throughout the walls, and the small stands that sit in this long hallway that reaches down to what looks like an opening to a massive room. And there you can see 4 or 5 people within it, and then little rooms kind of stick off the sides.
I've had a hard time since my brother and I were separated, but I find sometimes that it helps to talk about him and to tell people what he was like. He's my twin.
Oh, mine
So,
too.
we were together for so many years, and then life took us our separate ways, unfortunately, but he will always be in my heart.
I know the feeling.
Can you tell me?
My brother was so close to me, and I don't know what I'm gonna do without him.
One foot in front of the other and go on day by day, because it's the only way you can honor him. Why don't you tell me about him? What was his personality like?
He was a cheery boy. Always tried hard. He really didn't want to. He didn't seem to really want to do the derby, but Father always pushed him. And as you guys are talking, she starts to actually like sit you down in this room off to the side, and you pull up a chair, and she pulls up 2 chairs, and I don't know. He's always full of life. He was never not stop. He would never just stop to do nothing. He was always busy. He loved to draw. He was an artist, but he had a knack for riding horses. My father saw it. He hated it, but it's part of our family, and he didn't want to he didn't want to displease Father.
Believe me, I understand more than I could possibly say. Do you have any of his art, his drawings, that you would like to share and talk about?
I'm so sorry. Forgive me. My manners are absolutely horrendous. um, my name is Aubrey, and you are?
My name is Essifer.
Such a pretty name.
Essifer Vincent.
Wow.
Very traditional.
I am Aubrey Foster.
Very pleased to meet you, Aubrey.
It's very nice to meet you. So, most of his paintings and most of his stuff has been put away. Mother asked to hide it for a bit, and then we'll place it back up on the walls. And she was always supportive of him and his artisticness. But all Father could see was gold medals. Always trying to compete with the Hamiltons. Like we had something to prove. I never saw it, but he always he always said, "One day, son, we'll be up there. Up on top." And
that plaque I saw on the road with all the medals, yes?
yes,
I take it this has been a competition between your families for many years.
more than I know. I know this goes back generations. His father, his father. We've always been the underdog.
That's not unusual.
Hamiltons always have the upper hand, no matter what. No matter what we try, no matter what breeds we bring in from faraway lands or training that we get from other places, we never seem to be able to beat them.
On that plaque was one other name. Began with an M, I think. So it looks like someone did get in 1 year.
Strange. I mean, I don't. Father talks about it every once in a while, and when he's of a riding family out west of us. They rode here one season. Their horses were incredible. Then after that, they never returned.
Odd. It's so tragic. I can't imagine what might have happened. You said he was a good writer. I couldn't understand. That would be like my brother falling from an airship. Something that wouldn't happen.
No, it's very strange. And Father is dead set to find out who did it. Word of
Does he think that
strange folk are outside the gates, and he feels maybe it was a bad omen. He also is concerned that it might have been internal, and the Hogues are trying to push their way forward, and the Hamiltons are always trying to keep their spot at top. And truthfully, I can't wait to
Forgive
leave
me
this
for
place.
leave? Do you plan on going some? Your whole family or just you?
Just me. I don't know. I want to see the world. Take my family, money, head off to Darkenhaven, grab a boat out of there, and I don't know. Estrenia, Zustrenia, Sundestia, anywhere. Just see something different, some new part of life.
I can understand that. And I know I don't mean to be insensitive, but you don't think that the Hamiltons have stayed on top by, shall we say, dishonest means?
I don't know anymore. At first I thought that this was just a family rival between families, but now Father thinks it's a possibility. I'm not gonna weigh it out. Those ladies up there are ruthless. The boys are no better. They all think they're the best thing. They've done so since we went to school. I'm so sorry. You came to pay your respects,
No,
and I'm
it's fine.
blabbering like a banshee.
Oh,
How about
it's perfectly okay.
How about this? I will gladly take the flowers, and I do thank you for honoring my brother. Mother is not really in the mood to see anybody.
It's understandable.
And I'll walk you out. I apologize, and I hope I did not take too much time.
Oh, not at all.
And she kind of stands up, and she reaches her hand out and helps you up, and then you both walk out. She takes the flowers in her left hand.
Aubrey, may Kisma smile on you
Thank you.
in all your travels.
She kind of nods and smiles, and then kind of very slowly turns back around and goes back into the house after you start to walk away.
Okay. And I am going to leave the foster place and hike over to check out the Hamiltons, at least from a distance.
Okay. Decimus, Karis, you head over to the Hogues on the
Yep.
the western side, inside the perimeter, right on the out edge of it. Of the town, there's a 2-story building that you have told. No barn, surrounded by other homes and other businesses. And it just says on a small wooden sign, almost as if trying to build a little estate gate, with in wooden kind of carved in there. It says the Hogues.
Oh, any bright ideas?
I wouldn't call them bright ideas, but I think we should just walk up there and knock on the door, right?
Yeah. Let's. Sure.
That sounds like an idea to me.
Should we say we're from somewhere, or just kind of wing it?
I think we should do the
Should we try
cleric
the
thing
truth?
again. The priest thing. I think we should do that.
This thing.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it got us into the stables once, so it must be pretty good.
It did, yes. Sure. I will try something.
Do we have
Yeah.
any paint or writing utensils?
And I got quill, ink.
Maybe we could just draw your deity's symbol on the front of this book.
Really done? Sure.
I think that'll
I love everything about this. Absolutely. And all I'm going to do is take off my brooch and just try and draw the best I can a circle with an open book and a sword piercing through it.
All right, give me a. Give me a. Actually, no. Give me a sleight of hand check.
And okay.
What do we got? Oh, hey, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're cooking.
Okay. Okay. Off to a good start.
So it's very like you're grabbing the brooch and you're looking at it and you're starting to draw and it looks pretty close to the brooch. It's not exactly, but it's very well done. And now you have this drawing of on this leather-bound book of in like a black ink of this brooch on the front of it. So it's
Perfect.
I think this makes it a lot more believable than just a blank book. What do you think?
Just make sure they can't see inside the pages. Don't have enough time to write stuff.
That's fine. We can keep it closed. I mean, we can just use your book if we need to.
Well, you know, maybe not, but sure.
What's wrong with your book?
It's not that anything's wrong with my book, but you know,
Doesn't it have like religious text in it?
you know, people might be confused if they saw that book with me. So let's just
Like-
not show my book, okay?
Why would they be confused that a cleric has a religious book?
So as you two are bantering back and forth outside this estate, you start to see like children running out of the like door opens up and 4 kids kind of run out of it and they just kind of run to and then stop staring at you two big oafs.
Oh, look at that. We got company. I was kind of engaged. Hello. Are your parents home?
Yes.
Yes. May we speak to them,
And they, like,
please?
as they do that, all 4 of them kind of turn and just right back into the house.
Oh, okay.
I think we should wait a couple of minutes. If not, we'll just go and knock on the door.
About a minute or 2 go by, and
Sure.
this man comes out, and he seems to have this long, brown, slick back hair tied up in a ponytail, and what almost looks like mutton chops that come down to the end. And he looks over and he says, I'm sorry, do I...
Oh, you actually don't know us. It just so happens that we are traveling priests of Laren, as you can see by his book and my brooch. And we heard about the bad news that befell Derby. I believe it was yesterday. Poor young man died of a heart attack or something. Anyways, we thought we would do our good priestly duties and come and bless all the jockeys of the town to ensure their next ride would be safe.
Well, that's a very strange thing to... You know what? Okay, that's fine. My daughter is not here right now. She's at her stable, or at our stables that are off the outside of the gate, or outside of the premises. Are you blessing the horses? Are you blessing the jockeys? What is... I mean, I'll take a...
We were going
we'll take
around
a blessing
blessing
if we
the
can.
jockeys themselves, as it was, I believe, a Otto Foster who had fallen ill.
Yes, I mean, it was a tragic accident. I don't know exactly what happened, but strange that he would have just fallen out.
Inside check.
All right.
Can I do an inside check?
Sure, you can do an insight check.
Would
I want to see if this dude's being honest or not, because I heard stories about this family.
It's very straightforward.
Okay, so it doesn't seem like he's lying about.
It doesn't
Not really
seem like
knowing
he's
what
lying
happened?
about anything at the moment.
That's unfortunate news. That is why we are hoping to mitigate this in the future by giving our divine blessings to each of the riders.
Do you know how long it'll be before she returns?
Oh, she probably won't be back for, I don't know, a few hours. She literally goes up there in the morning, helps the farmland for an hour or so, and then rides for 4 or 5 hours straight, and then walks back.
I see. Would you be opposed to us coming back at a later time when she may be here?
I would not be opposed of 2 traveling priests coming by to bless my family. No.
Perfect. I think we will come back for dusk, and we'll make sure we have all our preparations to give her the best of blessings.
Thank you. You two are much different than I would expect of priests of Lairn, but
Oh, yes. Well, you see, our size is actually quite due to these books we have on, training the body. The body being, a temple and all. You gotta make sure it's the best.
oh, I guess that could make some sense.
You
A
know,
very-
they say healthy body, healthy mind, right?
That's it?
I'll tell my daughter that you stopped by, and maybe we'll see when you return of this blessing of Lairn.
May blessings be upon you.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna slightly less awkwardly bow.
Just makes perfect.
He bows as well,
Oh, yeah.
very awkwardly, unsure exactly
And
how
very
to.
confusedly.
Yeah, very confused. And then picks up the little girl that's kind of like latched to his leg and tosses him over onto her shoulder, or onto his shoulder, and then kind of walks back in the house.
Okay.
So turn around and start walking back. I think that went well.
Of course it did. Our plan never fails.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I think we've got
you
something.
might have
here.
an invitation back. It's true. Just gotta figure out something to maybe do with that stuff now.
Yeah. Also, he definitely seemed honest and had no idea about what happened to this Otto guy.
Hmm.
So
Well,
I don't know if he's
It's
just
not-
not involved, but the daughter might be. We can definitely find out when we come back. But he
I think that's best to look into.
definitely seemed innocent to me.
Well, all right.
I think we're getting good at this private investigator thing.
And
think so.
Decimus is such an
I think it
obscure
was
character.
sniffing that bear that really helped.
I think so. I've definitely not sniffed a bear before, and this has never gone well for me.
I think you got some of their natural instincts now.
I think so. I should always do this. Our pet bear I should always sniff it in the morning as a ritual.
As you guys are bantering and walking back, you kind of see Esper in the other direction, heading back towards, because everything the Hamiltons are actually up near where the Derby is starts at, and that's where their massive estate is. And as you guys are passing the Half Pint, you notice a kind of ratted clothed woman with red hair that is tied up tight, held, and she gets off of a horse, and you can see a group of people standing around her, and there's like 4 or 5 sets of horses that are now placed in front of the Half Pint, and you can hear, "Your family's not welcome. I don't know why you do this anyways. This is a guy's sport." She's starting to, you can see her fists start to clench, and as her anger arises, the one boy kind of pushes her onto with like the left hand of his shoulder, and she falls to the ground into the mud. And as she gets ready to get up, she pulls her fist back, and we're gonna stop there for the night.
No.
All right.
Did you say it was an older woman?
No, younger woman.
I'm pretty sure that's
daughter.
the
Okay.
Lady Hogue.
I think that's the daughter.
I guess we'll find out next week. Well, 2 weeks. So
Oh man.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
in 2 weeks. So
I heard.
I hope you
know.
all had a wonderful evening with us tonight. I had a blast. It went a little differently than I had expected, but that's D&D, so it is what it is. There was no combat tonight, which is perfectly fine for me, and I believe everybody else has a great time with the story. So hopefully in 2 weeks we will have absolutely everybody back, maybe even a guest. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If you liked our stuff, please make sure that you're following us so that we'll see you back next week and the weeks beyond. If you'd like, you can throw us a subscription. It costs 0 money if you have an Amazon Prime account to help us out. This will help with getting characters for each of these wonderful people, to get artwork done, and to continue to just improve our stream. And if you would like to help in any other way, shape, or form, please just direct message me on the stream, or actually on the Twitch, and we will talk about how we can work together as a community to make this even better. So until then, have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Good night.